Hi guys. Right, so first of all, am I even live? Ooh. Right, I'm live. Right guys, I don't have moderators, so I'm just need to ignore the trolls. And I've been trying to do this video for months and months, guys, right? So for anybody that doesn't know, I'm Mandy from Explore Scotland. Me and my friend Laura we've got a closed Facebook group called Explore Scotland. It's a platform for survivors of child trafficking and exploitation, because we're 100% aware of how the services treat them, how the police process goes, how the court process goes, how the traffickers are all still walking about the streets. Right, so me and Laura for 4 years relentlessly tried to raise awareness. We've been told there's undercover police investigations, etc, which is bullshit, right? Like we've held off and they shut us up for a wee while and then nobody still goes to jail. And all the Waynes are still being trafficked, exploited in Glasgow. I need to be really careful in here, guys, right? I'm always banned, I'm always chucked out. I have another TikTok, which I'm locked out of now, I can't remember the login details. So it's just called Expose Scotland, but there's a lot more followers and stuff on there and it reaches a lot more people. So guys, I'd appreciate it if you could share and try and follow my TikTok account to get more awareness out there. I plan on doing videos, it's going to need to be TikTok. So a wee quick rundown before I waffle about everything, right? And if people could just like and share, like, it'd be really, really appreciated, because we live in a country that's not safe for our children. As much as you like to go about your daily business and pretend that it's safe and let your wains out and let them travel about the country and into Glasgow city centre, it's not safe. Our children are being stopped at every corner, their vulnerabilities are being assessed, it's just sickening, right? So I just wanted to do this wee live for awareness, right guys, because I can only do 3-minute videos on TikTok. I know you can do 10-minute videos and upload them, right, but this is a brand new phone, right, so it's just damn censored. It doesn't let me record a video, it messes with my sound. I can't do a Facebook Live because it crackles and takes my sound in and out. When I speak about anything important, it mutes my voice. YouTube, we have an Exposed Scotland YouTube channel. Tried to go live on, obviously I found out more stuff, so they're totally censoring me, right, because I know I'm about to put it out there, because I know we're police and we're government and we're judges are all involved, right? So like, what's the point? I've shouted at them all, I've been to them all, I've tried everything, I've wrote to everybody in the country, I've tried to lobby them, they don't care because they're involved, right? Or these traffickers have got shit on them, so they're scared to say anything, or they're scared to be called racist, right? So I want to just tell you a wee rundown about what I actually know, right? So me and Laura started exposing Govanhill. I knew about Govanhill years ago, right? So I don't know if any of you are aware, like when they first brought the Romanians, the Roma people here, it was Romanians to start with, and a lot of the Romanian mafia and the Albanian mafia also got into our country at the same time, right? So they set up shop in Govanhill, right? Nicola Sturgeon's constituency, she took care of it 17 years ago. Do you know Govanhill was sold to one owner 17 years ago? Just to put that out there, right? So see, Govanhill, it's privatised. So Govanhill in Glasgow is owned by one owner. They sold it. So I don't know who can sell our country, right, when it doesn't belong to them, but our country, part of our country, Govanhill, was sold to one owner. One owner owns all the land and property in Govanhill, right? I think it's Nicola Sturgeon, I'm just going to put it out there. I think Nicola Sturgeon can't help, has to be up there to sort everything out. I think Nicola Sturgeon bought it with all these promises to do stuff, but she turned it into illegal child trafficking capital of Scotland. So anyway guys, as I said, I'm banned, censored on every platform. I even tried to do YouTube live. They messed with my sound on YouTube last night, nobody could hear me. The only platform I can go on is TikTok, that they don't mess with my sound. So that just lets me know that our government and our police don't have access to mess with my sound on TikTok. So it must be a totally different runners of the platform, right? They have no control of this. But like I said, the 3-minute videos don't really go very far, right? So here's the story of what I know so far about Govanhill, right? I've done my own investigation in the place because the police wouldn't. I stalked the place, I used to hang about the place, I put my life in danger, I tried to help the lassies and stuff. It's just a vicious, absolute vicious cycle, right? So as I said, the Roma people first came here 20 years ago. Guys, I don't know how to accept and I don't join anybody because I don't know what to do on here. I'm still new and I don't hardly even know how to work it, right? So, Govanhill, right? Child and human trafficking. It's spreading out into our country. Right, guys, so see if you've got any children, don't let them in Glasgow city centre. Why is this doing all mad stuff on my screen? Right, so here's the thing. So, all the Waynes were already being exploited, it was terrible, it was horrific, they were being taken for the care homes, they were being groomed by the traffickers, where government and police are turning a blind eye to it. When I started investigating it and the way I get treated, I thought, are they involved, right? So it turns out, aye, they are involved, right? So our country's just corrupt as fuck. So the Roma people moved in first, right? Now, bearing in mind, people come for nothing, like they don't have nothing, right? So I know there's a lot of bad ones doing a lot of bad stuff, right? But our government are exploiting them. Our government are deliberately letting them do what they do to exploit them so they've got somebody to blame, right? Because see, our politicians and our government, they're involved in all the other shit, right? And see these people that are doing all this, they'll know but they don't get to keep all that money and send it back to their own country. Like, they need to hand that out to the traffickers. And then see, the traffickers that are for like all different countries, like as you've seen the grooming gangs, right? They're for Egypt, they're for Turkey, they're for Pakistan, they're all different countries, right? They're all different countries, right? All different places all over the world, right? But they all come to Glasgow because they get a free rein, right? They can set up business here and they can join all their pals who are drugging, raping and selling our wains. Why is our government doing nothing about it? To me, that's we've been invaded, right? Like, to me, William Wallace, what were they doing in the English? They were raping our women and our wains. What are these people that they're letting into our country doing? They're raping our women and our wains and brutalising them in ways never seen before. I mean, the brutality that these people inflict on these children is fucking horrific. There's no other child abuse in the country like it. Why they not go to prison? Why they not deported? Ask our government, right? Because, like I said, they're all involved. They pay the traffickers to go and have sex with the wains too. They need the wains. It's a business. I've heard from social workers that have walked out the place, left their jobs because they've witnessed babies getting sold over the phone while they're in a house for another child. Like, no joke, this shit's real, right? So we have a place called Govanhill in Glasgow, right? So we have the Roma people, right? And the Roma community, right? Now, men and women, they sell their own children for sex, right? They pimp their own children out. These children are obviously booked in time slots, right? And then people drive up to the place and take them in their cars. I was up there just the other week and the amount of wains, and obviously they all start hiding when I'm anywhere near. And it was the wains are all dressed up in makeup at 5 and 6 years old with their wee earrings and all that in and their pretty dresses on, getting told to go to some car, right? To get taken to go have sex with a fucking paedophile, right in Glasgow and Govanhill, right? Now, not only do you have that, right, you have the traffickers who have to answer to the Scottish gangsters, right? That's the part that nobody talks about. Do you think it's them that's running the shit in this country? No, it's our Scottish gangsters. They wouldn't get to do. Where do you think the drugs come from? Where do you think the money gets handed to? How do you think they get protection? Right? They wouldn't be able to operate without the protection of the fucking Scottish gangsters in this country. So like I said, they ain't no gangsters to me. There's no such thing as a paedophile gangster, right? I've said it for decades, I'll keep saying it. There's no such thing as a paedophile gangster, you beast wains, right? You ain't no gangster. I'm not scared of you, right? The gangsters that I knew would have deported these people themselves. would have battered these men that are raping women and children, would have protected their communities and the women in it, right? But no, he's all profiting. So, like, we do have a war, right, against child trafficking and exploitation, and it's in a scale that nobody's even can get their head around, right? The sex education's all a part of it, right? This is to cover their tracks, the sexualising of our children and the gender confusing them and the teaching them about sex from a young age. This is all to cover up what the paedophiles are having sex with our wains, the politicians, the judges, the lawyers. They all think it's normal to have sex with children. They all believe that children should be able to consent to sex. They believe that your child is a sexual being from birth. The World Health Organisation's guidelines, your children deserve an orgasm for the day they're born. And we are abusing our children by denying them orgasms. That's the world you live in, guys. You need to open your eyes, see if you've got children. See the schools you're sending them to. They're concentration camps. See any school of Wayne's gone to the now, it's a concentration camp to get indoctrinated. It's to get sexualised, it's to get gender confused, it's to get mutilated, it's to get experimented on. They don't need concentration camps because you're all complying. We're all just giving them our wings. We're all just saying do what you like with them. Experiment, give them puberty blockers, chop their bits off, give them new bits, do what you want. That's the world we're living in, and I can't, and it makes me so angry that the parents are just accepting this shit because the government have got them so dependent that they need to go to their job to pay their bills or they've got a life that they need their wains at school to get a break and shit, right? So they've got yous all tied up like you don't even know it, right? And then see when you put your child in school, do you know that you sign there that parental right? So if your child's in a state school, you sign there the parental right to what's an adequate education, right? So see this RSHP sex education, it's global, RSE in other countries, the global sexualisation of children, the legalising of child sex, they're going to teach the children how to exploit themselves, how to put themselves on websites, then there's no crime. Like, that is where our world is going, guys. You need to wake up, right? So see with Govanhill, I'm going to tell you what happens up there. So you have the Roma children, right? They're born and groomed for birth. See, like the way the sex education wants to do. So they've already experimented in Govanhill, Nicola Sturgeon. I'm coming for you, you've got a jail hen. Like, I'm really going to put that woman in a jail for the rest of her life if it's the last thing I ever do, right? So she's experimented, used Govanhill, protected it. They have their own hospitals, they have their own ambulance service, they have their own private doctors to stitch up the children who have all been, like, they have their own, so it's meant to be a homeless unit for children up there, not it's a hospital, right? It's a hospital where I believe that they're selling their organs, right? I do believe that they're actually selling their organs, that the ones that they can't sell anymore for sex because they're that damaged, they've been battered, brutalised, raped, then they go there to get their organs removed. It's like a hospital, right? I'll take you to the place on a live one day and show you it all. Right, that's what's all owned by one owner, the Housing Association. There's a lawyers in the Housing Association, private land, there's hussies at the back that traffic European children. Then you have Govanhill, like I said, get back to it because I'm off track. The Roma children are pimped out by their parents, right? The money they make, the parents don't get to keep it all, right? The traffickers take it because they keep them safe and let them live there and don't get them battered and murdered, right? And then you've got all the traffickers go to keep to the Scottish gangsters, they're cutting it for protection money and shit, right? So not only have you got the Roma children being pimped out, right? You have our Scottish lassies who have been dragged into that. They don't really like too many Scottish lassies about there because people like me driving about know exactly why they're there, right? So they've kind of moved them about, but there's still Scottish lassies getting taken up to Govanhill, right? And these lassies are lassies say that Mammy and Daddy's family breakdown, they're in the middle of a breakup, nobody's giving away any attention, the wains after rails, or drinking these, they go looking for children like that hanging about the town, like they go actually picking them up. They have the Scottish gangsters there to say what ones they want, and then they become their boyfriends. They groom them, they buy them lots of gifts, they treat them like they're special, and they give them all this love and attention, and the wains never had that before, and they think these people are wonderful, they think these people are their heroes, right? And then all of a sudden, that's, I need you to do something for me. I need you to have sex with this guy, but I've already told him you'll do it. I mean, because you love me, like, I'm in trouble, you need to do it, right? And that's where it starts. Then the Waynes are getting taken about the country and dropped off to hussies to have sex with up to 30 men a day. Or their own websites as escorts and they're in a hotel, right? That's the Scottish lassies. Also, but you've got some of them that are kept in Govanhill, right? Because they need people to look after these children or these babies being born of these Waynes, right? Because these Waynes are being groomed to have sex. And then they have categories, like it's more money to sleep with an under 5-year-old, right? So I'll give you an idea how it works, right? So you go up the place and you see all the wee boys and the football thing during the after school, and the men have got all the boys out. That's to give the wee girls privacy, right? Because they're getting all their baths and they're getting all dressed up to get prostituted out after school, right? Now it's the summer holidays, it's tormenting me, right? Because they don't have school, so the Waynes are getting prostituted out day and night, every fucking day for how many weeks left of the summer. At least when they get to go to school, they get a break. Right, well they don't get a break during the summer holidays, they're just being raped half the whole of Scotland. Why did I get so angry? See, if we didn't have a market in this country for these sick bastards wanting to have sex with children, then we wouldn't have a place like Govanhill pimping out children, would we? If there wasn't so many people wanting to have sex with children, like judges, lawyers, police, then it wouldn't be happening, would it? So that's how I say we need to go to tap and take them all out, because these people they don't know how to survive any other way. They date in their own country, so they bring them here and make it look like it's glamorised for them in this country, right? But it is what it fucking is, right? They poor Waynes don't get to be children, right? They don't get to be children. See, when I drive about up there, do you know, I heard a story of somebody and they were like, I thought like, but I've been up for months and months and months, right? And I thought, look, what am I doing, but what am I going to do myself? Like, I can't just start like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I thought every way I could try and do something, right? But even me trying to take people, I'm going to go to jail if I try and take them out, right? Look, what am I going to do? Not only that, these people defend these people because they're terrified. Like, they're made dependent on them, like any narcissistic abuser. They're dependent on the fact that they don't think they can live without these people. They don't think they can survive without these people. They've never been shown any other way of living a life. They don't know another life out there exists where they could be free to make choices and decisions of their own, where they can go and make another income, right? And the sad thing is, see, the ones that do escape it, they don't know any other way of making a living, and they end up becoming escorts or prostitutes for the rest of their life. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? But why should you have to sell your body to make a living? Like, that's not what we were born for. We're not born to sell ourselves, right? They teach us that's what they're trying to teach all you, is like that we're just a profit, right? That's human trafficking, that's slavery. We're all fucking slaves, right? So, like I said, so Govanhill, this is how it works, right? So see these houses, and say you've got like 10, 15 Waynes that live in the one house. The wee boys get taken out after school, well, the wee lassies got all dressed up to get prostituted out, right? The boys get pimped out too, but I think it costs more money for the boys and stuff, and they go to like the politicians and blah 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 blah, and they like to bring in the Scottish boys for that. So they get your boys hooked on drugs and they take them up Govanhill to hang about with the wee lassies that are all traumatised, and they all look after each other, but really they're all being exploited and trafficked, and they just don't know what's going to happen that night, right? It's just, and then they start opening their mouth. Well, they'll get gang raped and battered in a house one night, and that's to shut their mouth. They Waynes need to deal with that, right? They Waynes need to live their life, and even if they do escape it, they know if they go to the police, they've seen loads of people doing it. The process, the fact that they've just put their life back in danger because the trafficker and the pedos still walking the streets could put a hit on them because they've got money. I mean, they could just pay somebody to take them out, couldn't they? And where's the police protection? Where's the protection for these survivors, right? That's why I'm fighting like mad, because we need services. We need anonymous places where it's got a front, where these people can be taken in and hidden, because how else are they going to fucking escape it? They'll get fun and dragged right back and battered. Their whole families get terrified, threatened and terrorised. They threaten their mammies or daddies or brothers or sisters, right? So it's how are we going to end this in this country? So like I'm saying, this is what happens in Govanhill on a daily basis, right? So you've got the Roma children, right? You've got the wee Waynes in the play outside the close and that. And then you've got the paedophiles, the police, the judges, the lawyers, the professionals that just pop up, and they don't even go into the houses, they go at the backs, so they don't get caught in a house or anything. So like, whatever Wayne they want, the Wayne goes out one back closed door and they go at the other back closed door, they've sex with the Wayne and they come back out, they pay whoever they're paying, right? And then you've also got, so see like the way they had in Quarriers orphan homes and or the orphanages and that, they had house mums and house aunties. Right, we'll see in Govanhill they have house mummies and house aunties who take care of the Waynes, who change the Waynes' nappies, who clean them up when they're bleeding, who have to bath them after they've been obviously raped and they're bleeding, who have to decide if they need stitched up or no. Where do they go? There's private doctors everywhere, right? Come and fix the Waynes for you. We have a place like that in Glasgow, right? Right hidden, right in plain sight in front of your fucking face. And why isn't nobody doing anything about this? Why does everybody think it's alright that these Waynes can just be gang raped every day? Why isn't nobody doing nothing about it? Like I said, it would take the army one day to come in and clear that place. Right, like I said, it's a hard thing to go. I totally understand that these women are dependent on these, that you take them away from it, they're grieving for the children that they've left there that they know what's happening to, so they don't want to leave, they want to stay there to protect the Waynes as much as possible, etc, etc. It goes on and on and on and on and on, right? They open their mouth, they're going to murder one of their Waynes or they're going to do something really bad to them, do you know what I mean? So how do you get out of it? How do you get out of it? You just need to keep exposing the place and try and reach out to these people and show them there's a better way of life, right? And see the young lassies and stuff, well, I believe you, right? I believe you and I'll expose your story and I don't care what anybody has to say because I know what goes on up there, right? I know what fucking goes on up there. So you've got that, right? Then you've also got the fact that they go to Bangladesh and they go to Slovakia and all these other places. Slovakia is used to bring young lassies there, bring Waynes there, right, to be prostituted out, right? So they bring them here and they prostitute them out as children, and then when they're old enough to marry, then they'll marry one of the Asians in Govanhill, right? Because it gets them a European passport. So they're used for sham marriages, right? So that's what you've got that side of it, they're getting used for sham marriages and passports, etc, etc. And then once they're too old to be sold for sex as Waynes, they become escorts and get prostituted out, and they have Waynes of their own that they can keep selling. They can keep prostituting their Waynes out, right? And it's just a vicious cycle like that. The Scottish lassies, they get trafficked about hotels, flats, across our country. But the base is Govanhill, their bosses are Govanhill, their traffickers are Govanhill, right? They just don't like to be seen too much about up there, right? They get taken into Glasgow city centre where it doesn't look as obvious, right? So you've got Glasgow city centre, they get trafficked all over the country, they get trafficked to Nottingham, they get trafficked to Rotherham. So see the grooming gangs that's in Govanhill, the same grooming gangs that are in Rotherham and all these other places, right? And down south, right? Because they take our Scottish lassies, well, down there, and then see the lassies down there, they bring them up here so that, like, cause see how they're missing and people are looking for them. Well, the Scottish ones are in England and and then once it comes down, they bring them back and start and prostitute them about Edinburgh and Ayrshire and Glasgow city centre, and like I said, up in hotels as escorts. And that's the sick country we live in. And then see these wee lassies are house mammies to these babies that are getting raped, right? And that's where the information comes for these babies get groomed for birth to be raped, right? For their firstborn, right? Because the wee lassies need to deal with it. They also get raped, right? They like to wait till they're after 3 years old because it can kill them. And then there's another story I heard just 5 weeks ago. A wee 4-year-old died. You don't hear that in the papers, do you? A 4-year-old Wayne died, being raped to death. His wee body couldn't take any more and it died in Govanhill. 4-year-old, raped to death. Right, and we have to just sit here and say, like, that's acceptable. Nicola Sturgeon knows about this stuff. Nicola Sturgeon's office is right in there. In fact, you know where that's where I'm going. It's only 1:20. Guys, I'm going to go off this live and I'll do some 3-minute videos, right? to give you a higher idea. So then you have one owner owning the place, everything I've just told you goes on, right? The wains get pimped out day and night, round the backs, just constant. Taxis come, pick them up, take them to the judges, they get pimped out for an hour at a time. They make up to, like I said, it's just fucking horrific, right? Child trafficking is now the #1 illegal trade worldwide. Child trafficking, selling our children, right? Child and human trafficking is the #1 illegal trade worldwide. We're merchandise, we're worth money, so is our kids, right, to these monsters. It's no guns anymore, and it's no drugs, it's human and children, right? Should that not alarm you? You know how many people buy drugs every day? Guess what? More people than that buy wains every single day. Do you know, does that not ring alarm bells to anybody? No. And it's in Glasgow, it's in your streets in Glasgow. Glasgow's child trafficking and exploitation is that bad, and the rates of babies that are being born that aren't even registered, that we're even organ harvesting, right? But we're selling organs, right? And the Chinese are involved in that in Glasgow, right? They buy all the organs and ship them out the country, right? We have babies born in this country just for organs, in Glasgow, in Scotland, in your own city. And you walk about like there's people walk about watching telly programmes and that, and I swear my brain wants to explode. Like, what is the world coming to? And now the globalists, that have come right into your schools because Mandy's making too much noise, and we're all and people like me exposing all the paedophiles, the royal family, the politicians, the BBC, the celebrities, Hollywood, etc., are all absolutely sick as fuck. They worship the devil, they have satanic rituals, they drink your Wayne's blood, they traumatise them with adrenochrome, blood is real, they buy it, they terrorise children and they know they're going to die to extract their blood. That stuff is fucking real. This is the sick people we have in this world. And unfortunately they're the people in power. They're the people we watch on the telly. They're the people that make the movies. They're the people that make the laws. They're the people that prosecute us in courts. And so how do we protect children? How do we protect children and prosecute paedophiles when they're going to go in front of one? Like, I just don't see a way out unless the people just stand up and say they've had enough, tell their governments that they need to get to fuck. And I'm sure we could all find a better way to run our country. No sexualise our way, protect our children, protect their innocence. Let them be children. They've got all the time in the world to be adults. Let them be children. Don't let them exploit themselves and put themselves on porn sites for these paedophiles worldwide to entertain themselves because they're sick fuckers. I've really had enough, guys. Right, but I'm going to go because I'm going to go and visit Nicola Sturgeon today. And I'm also going to go and chat to the Freemasons tonight because I've had enough of this whole country, right? So you'll see me soon and I'll be on here. And like I said, we have, please subscribe to Expose Scotland YouTube because they've censored it. I can upload videos, but I'm going to need to get a new device, right? If I get a new device, it works for about 2 weeks. So we need a new device and then I'll be able to do all these videos on these platforms for 2 weeks, right, guys? And honestly, I appreciate everybody who tunes in and who takes it on board. And I know it's hard to hear, I know it's triggering as fuck, but Goni, please just think of the trauma of these wains. Please just think of what nightmares they're having. All the times they've been gang raped, and even if they've got out it, the nightmares they're having at night, all these men coming in and having sex with them and fucking beating them up and raping them. Like I know it's hard for us to hear. How do you think the wains are feeling, and all the wains that are still in it? And I see if you go up there and you look at the children in Govanhill, like, they're soulless, like they're dead, their eyes are dead. The wains are drugged though, like all the wains are drugged. That's another thing. Well, let's go up and drug test all the wains. Why, that's another thing. Govanhill has their own Sandyford right next to, if anybody's been up there, right next to the health centre. So I said, so they have their Sandyford, they have the health centre, they have all their private doctors to stitch wains up, they have private hospitals, they have private ambulances. Nobody needs to know, it's no on record. That's why I can't get any freedom of information requests, and that's why I go up and stalk a place and ask who's going to give me them, but nobody will. Nobody will, so but I'm not going up in that place. We need to do something about that place. Like, that place needs to come to an end, because it's, as I said, it's spreading out to the whole of your country. So it's going to come to every one of your doorsteps very, very soon. Like, we're not going to have a country left. And like I said, I do believe we're fucking being invaded. And their government have let it happen because they're all involved at a level that's just fucked up. Nicola Sturgeon is a lot to answer for, so did Bernardo's charity. I know Bernardo's charity have helped a lot of survivors, but also Bernardo's charity, because of all the government funding that they received, Nicola Sturgeon gave them £58 million. They have a duty to hand out any information on any survivor that the government wants. So see, anything you disclose to them, they can take it straight back to the government and they know if you're a threat or not. Like I said, Police Scotland are up there paying traffickers to rape the Waynes. Our government are paying traffickers to rape the Waynes. So who's going to save them? Who's going to change that place? The children were taken up there 25 years ago, right, for that purpose, to create a child brothel in the whole area and to cater to every single paedophile. And that's now what happens. And somehow our government have legalised it, protect it. Anybody that tries to mention anything about it gets prosecuted, like me. Like, they kick my door in and everything, try and steal my phone. No, they've never got it yet. Or me, but who knows, eh? So I'm going to go check Nicola Sturgeon out today. I'm going to chap her door, and I'm going to the Freemasons and party tonight, because I want to know about the children and all the unmarked graves, and if they're not involved, then why they not helping me to do anything about it. So I'll give you a wee update on how I got on, right guys? So everybody have a nice day. You can't prove that. I can prove everything. I've got evidence on everything. So before anybody says I can't prove it, see if I say something, it's only because I've got evidence and proof. Not that I'll just show everybody and put it out there, right? Because they're not going to take it and do anything about it. But see, anything out of my mouth, I won't just say it unless I know for it's fact. Unless I have seen it with my own eyes, heard it with my own ears, have it on a video, have it on a bit of paper. So I can prove everything, right? It's just how do I get that, the court systems out and the judges out, so that there's somebody that's actually impartial that I can prove it to. That's the big question, right guys? So take care, and I will update you all soon. And it was just to give you a wee update and say hello and stuff, because I've not been on here in ages, and I've got a lot that I need to talk about, a lot I need to expose. I'm going to do another one. The sex education always gets me banned, but I'm going to figure out a way, guys, right? As I said, I'm censored on every platform. I can't even record a video on my phone. So a new device, and then I'll be back soon, right guys? So thank you very much, and please, like I said, subscribe to Expose Scotland YouTube channel. We have a private Expose Scotland Facebook group, which is locked, which survivors can be anonymous in and tell their stories and stuff. And also it's hidden for the public. And what else? There's another Expose Scotland TikTok, just Expose Scotland, that I'm locked out of the now, but there's a lot of wee awareness videos on there. Right guys, so I'm going to go, and thanks very much for tuning in, right, and I will see you really soon. And please do some research, find out what they're teaching your Waynes in school, look into it, and it'll be as clear as day in front of your own eyes. They're trying to legalise sex with your children, and paedophilia is normal, right? So I'm going to go guys, take care, have a nice day, and keep your children safe.